Hi, good morning one and all. Today the topic is about midface fractures. All of us know about the different layout of the maxilla. Starts along with the facial fractures today it's basically maxillary fractures and orbital fractures that I'm going to be dealing with. If time permits, we'll also go with the zygomatic fractures later on. So where is this maxilla and how do we go about with that? Maxilla forms the middle third of the face and it is comprised of the zygomatic bones bilaterally, zygomatic process of the temporal bones that we have over here. So this is your maxilla, which is orange in color, which is going from absolutely from the surface completely going onto the midline and fusing with that of the opposite side and the other side maxillary portion there, okay. And that it kind of articulates with your zygomatic bone and it articulates with your orbital bones, okay. Yeah, so this is where we are looking at. So it is made up of the frontal process of the maxilla, which is this portion here, the frontal process of the maxilla, the zygomatic process where the zygomatic buttress comes and sits over it, the alveolar process that is here, and then the palatine process. So these are the four processes of your maxilla. When we go back to the maxillary anatomy per se, it is very integratedly, actively articulating with lot of bones on the face that actually forms the anchor of the facial bone. And henceforth, it articulates with your nasal bone. This is your nasal bone here and nasal bone. It articulates with your orbital bone. So that's your orbital bone, your zygomatic bones, okay. Then it has the alveolar dental processes which articulate by means of occlusion with the mandibular bone, okay. Now, these are the anterior relations that we are looking at. Now, there are relations of the maxilla superiorly and posteriorly with the ethmoidal bone, the palatine bone, okay, the nasopalatine, nasoethmoidal and the sphenoidal bone. So, that's how this maxilla seems to be articulating. And these are the processes. Look how beautifully you have this perpendicular plate here, okay. And that's the alveolar process. So, that's the orbital process, okay. If you're looking at the maxilla from the tuberosity side, from the lateral aspect, if you're looking at the maxilla, that is how the maxilla looks. And but if you're looking from behind, from the palatine, sitting right in the center of the palate, and then you're looking at the maxilla, then you will be looking at the zygomatic buttress which comes out. This is the zygomatic process coming and sitting and articulating with the maxillary process. You have the palatine bone here. Then you have the orbital portion out there, okay. So, these are the processes of the maxilla. You have the frontal, the zygomatic, the alveolar and the